President Donald Trump met Prime Minister Keir Starmer on Thursday, the final day of the U.S. leader's state visit to Britain, with tech investment, steel tariffs and potentially tricky talks over Ukraine and Gaza on the agenda. According to Associated Press, the President and First Lady Melania Trump were feted by King Charles III and Queen Camilla on Wednesday at Windsor Castle with all the pageantry the monarchy can muster: gold-trimmed carriages, scarlet-clad soldiers, artillery salutes and a glittering banquet in a grand ceremonial hall. British officials have festooned the trip with the kind of superlatives Trump revels in. It's an unprecedented second state visit for the U.S. leader, featuring the biggest military honor guard ever assembled for such an occasion. On Thursday it was Starmer's turn to welcome the president to Chequers, a 16th-century manor house northwest of London that serves as a rural retreat for British leaders. He was welcomed on the doorstep of the house by the Prime Minister and his wife, Victoria Starmer. Trump's British hosts want to celebrate the strength of the U.S.U.K relationship, almost 250 years after its rocky start in 1776. Trump will be welcomed by ceremonial honor guard complete with bagpipers, a nod to the president's Scottish heritage, and shown items from the archive of wartime leader Winston Churchill, who coined the term special relationship for the bond between the United States and Britain. There's also a lunch of Dover sole followed by key lime pie, and a display by the Red Devils Army parachute team. To coincide with the visit, Britain said U.S. companies had pledged £150 billion in investment in the United Kingdom, including £90 billion from investment firm Blackstone in the next decade. Investment will also flow the other way, including almost $30 billion by pharmaceutical firm GSK in the U.S. The two leaders will sign a tech prosperity deal that UK officials say will bring thousands of jobs and billions in investment in artificial intelligence, quantum computing and nuclear energy. It includes a UK arm of Stargate, a Trump-backed AI infrastructure project led by OpenAI, and a host of AI data centers around the UK. American firms are announcing £31 billion investment in the UK's AI sector, including $30 billion from Microsoft for Protects, including Britain's largest supercomputer. Starmer wants a successful state visit to balance weeks of bad news that saw him lose not just an ambassador but Deputy Prime Minister Angela Rayner, who quit over a tax error on a home purchase, and a senior aide. He will be bracing for awkward questions about Jeffrey Epstein when he and Trump hold a news conference at Chequers. Days before the state visit, Starmer fired Britain's ambassador to the U.S., Peter Mandelson, over the envoy's past friendship with the convicted sex offender. There are also potentially difficult conversations to be had over Ukraine and the Middle East. Starmer has played a major part in European efforts to shore up U.S. support for Ukraine. Trump has expressed frustration with Russian President Vladimir Putin but has not made good on threats to impose new sanctions on Russia for shunning peace negotiations. As he left Washington for the UK on Tuesday, Trump appeared to put the onus on Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, saying, he's going to have to make a deal. Starmer also departs from Trump on Israel's war in Gaza, and has said the UK will formally recognize a Palestinian state at the United Nations later this month. Trump has threatened to penalize Canada during trade negotiations for making a similar move. U.S. President Donald Trump's helicopter has touched down on the lawn of the Prime Minister's estate, in the countryside northwest of London. According to Associated Press, Trump then got into his motorcade for a short ride to the house. He waved at reporters waiting outside as he drove by. The leaders will discuss trade and geopolitical issues in bilateral talks, and a news conference is planned for later Thursday.